Go ahead. You should be cool now.
Now can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Nope, the center can't hear me. No audio at all. Yeah, now they're hearing me. Yeah, can y'all hear me now? Stevie Beck said the sound clip works. Now can y'all hear me? Now y'all hear everything I'm saying now? Right, right, right. Did y'all hear about the fog?
They didn't
All
hear the
right, there
fog.
we go. All right. Well, if y'all didn't hear about the fog, let me give you my fog story before we. Y'all didn't even hear about my boys? Well, let me tell you about my boys and let me tell you about the fog before we go to anything else. My boys, we're going to smack some fools Sunday. The kids aren't fools, so please don't think I'm mean to kids. I'm not. I'm mean to the coaches though, and I will get at you coaches Sunday. But we're gonna blast. This was a junior championship team, and they're bringing their team, and they're thinking they're all good. But if y'all ain't scared, then why y'all got kids at our practice? Why you got your kids at our practice trying to study us? Because y'all scared. Because y'all know what y'all going to get. Y'all going to get the business Sunday. It's going to be bad for you. And I'm just sorry to tell you, you're going to get the business, and please get ready for that. Give me another one again. All right. Now, let me tell you about the fog. It's crazy. You live in the country, you live in the city. I live in the country, and it's totally different than the city. Do you understand what I'm saying? City fog is different than country fog. Country fog is scary. Country fog is like you watching a scary movie. The fog for real. That's how thick it was. Bootang was driving and it's some one way streets, one way this way, one way. That's where you die. I have said some good prayers and I thank God for getting me home because that fog was awful scary today. So I just want to tell you that. Don't drive in the fog in the country unless you know what you're doing. You feel me? So let me just say that right now. But how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good tonight? Well, let's talk a little bit about football and that defensive staff that we got on board, and I'm excited about it because they got another hire with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, not another hire. And this guy has already been with the Dallas Cowboys before, Mr. George Edwards. He came over from the Minnesota Vikings, ran with Mike Zimmer for about 5 years, doing his thing over there. And guess what? He's with them Cowboys, and he's already been with these Cowboys. He's already had a tour of Doherty with the Cowboys, and he had a pretty successful linebacking core when he was with the Cowboys between 1998 and 2001. He had a guy named Dexter Coakley on the team. He had a guy named Dat Wynn on the team, and them dudes was dogs, absolute beasts. But now he's back. And you've seen what he did with the Minnesota Vikings with Hendricks over there and Anthony Barr over there. Two top teams, two top defensively teams that two top, I'm saying two top. That could be the sleep, y'all. One very good defensive team that he had over there in Minnesota. We know about that defense the last, 5 or 6 years? They've been a top 10 type defense in points, sacks. They've been very good in what they do. And he's very good at developing linebackers. Like I said, Dat Wynn, Dexter Coakley. You seen him with Anthony Barr. Hendricks was an all pro this year. So you get excited when you have another person like that added to the staff. Now, I guess they had the Scott McCurley kid from Green Bay that they're bringing over. So we're gonna be interested to see who's really gonna be that true linebackers coach. Who's gonna be the guy? I would say Edwards will probably be the guy, and McCurley will probably assist him. But what you're really looking at as a whole, as the defense, when you got Tom Sula, when you got Mike Nolan, when you got McCurley, now you got Edwards in the fold, Lindquist, and then you got a helper with Al Harris. You got a lot of guys that are in roles, but there's going to be guys assisting in those roles. But I still think it's going to be one mind, and I think that's what really excites me. But bigger thing that excites me more than anything else is that they really are concentrating on the defense. When I look at the offensive coaches that they brought in, I don't see too much of a big change on that offensive side of the ball, but I definitely do see a different philosophy on that defensive side. And when you see the guys that they brought in there, veterans, a lot of veterans that they brought in on the defensive side of the ball, and grunny type guys. So I think the defense, like I said yesterday, is going to be something. I'm not going to guess to say it's going to be something fierce, but I think it's going to be a lot more disciplined. I think that's one of the biggest things going to be to me. The defense is going to be a lot more disciplined more than anything else. And that's what we need. And I think they were talking about we're going to get players that are not just going to be fitting the scheme. We're going to get playmakers regardless of the scheme. I think that excites me as well. But when I see the core that they're bringing, I see a lot more meticulous. Um, the little things. I see these coaches that are bringing in, they're gonna have to be doing the little things, and I think that's what really excites me. The little things, the little small things that I feel like the Cowboys missed on defense this year. I think that's what's going to be honed in this year. A lot more discipline in your gaps, a lot more not freelancing and wanting to be the hero and do your own thing and pad your stats. I'm not saying guys were stat padding, but there were a lot of guys in some contract years trying to probably get a new
Malik
contract.
Collins.
And what you know what I'm saying? Malik Collins is. So if you're talking about a guy who's trying to get a big contract, they're probably going to try to do whatever they can to get that contract. So Malik Collins was trying to get more sacks because he's trying to improve his stock. Because I don't see Malik Collins coming back with the Dallas Cowboys. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times Malik Collins was probably trying to do what he tried to do to get that next contract. He probably was looking at, I don't come back with the Cowboys. So I feel like there's going to be a lot more discipline, gap integrity, guys staying in their lanes, guys doing what they're supposed to do, doing their job, and then you play as one mind as a whole when you're doing your job, and then it becomes a great thing as a team defense, because I don't think the Cowboys were a team defense. I think there was some individuals on the defense, but it wasn't a team defense as a whole, and that's why you've seen a lot of the games breaking down toward the end of the third, fourth quarters, where you've seen a lot of missed tackles, just a lot of undisciplined, sloppy play, and I think that's one of the biggest things that's going to get rectified with this new staff coming in. What up, Gambino? How you doing out there? Let me give a few shout-outs. Stevie Mack, what's up with your big dog? Ron Smith, hey, ho, how you doing? And remember, donation. And now I need some holla. Don't be shy because it's on the left. You feel me? Give it to me again. Holla. Don't be shy just because it's on the late night. Come on, y'all. We know how it is. I told y'all got to get me to Vegas for this draft. It's about to be popping. But right now, on the defensive staff, if I could give a quick grade right now, just not even anything, but just looking how he brought in, I'm going to give it a solid B. Can't give it an A because you haven't seen anything, but I'm going to give it a solid B because of, number one, guys were coaches and head coaches, and the experience that's all jumbled up in that defensive core, the coaches as a whole. I love all that experience that's all jumbled in there, and that's why I'm going to give it a solid B. I'm going to ask you guys, what would you guys give the defensive staff right now as a grade? What grade would you give it? Just thinking, we know the season hasn't started. We know they still got to go through all things. But just looking at the hires, what grade would you give it right now? Because right now I'm going to give it a solid B. I'm not going to say B plus or anything, but I'm going to give it a good B because I do like the guys. I do like Mike Nolan. I feel like he has something to prove. I feel like Tom Sula has something to prove. I feel like these guys that they brought on the staff have something to prove. And what better organization to prove it with than the Dallas Cowboys? Because on the Cowboys as a whole, they have something to prove because they ain't been nowhere in 25 years. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of guys that you bringing in that want to show that we ain't washed up, we're not done, and this is a perfect team to build up because the talent is there, the will is there. Now you just got to put in the preparation and the work to do it too. Let me get y'all quick thoughts on what would y'all give the defensive staff right now for the Cowboys? See what y'all got to say.
I'll tell you, I'll give them a B as well. By the way, if you don't know, this is Skywalker Still on the ones and twos.
Skywalker Still, you know how I do. See how we do it over here. We just be quiet, and next thing you know, hear another voice out there. Like, who the hell was that? That's Skywalker Still. He's on the ones and twos. You feel me? He might just interject in anyway. And make sure you go check out his page too, because it's popping.
Thank you,
so I need y'all's grade right quick. What would y'all give? I seen a B in here already. Somebody gave me a B. Stevie Mack gave me a B plus right now. Shane Scott says he give it a B right now at the moment. It looks really good as what we're saying. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and say a B until we get to the training camp and when we get to the offseason, all that good stuff, the OTAs, all that good stuff. I'm just really excited to see what this defense is really going to look like because I think it's going to be a lot more aggressive. Hey, ho, Holla, holla, 499, holla from Daniel Meza. Appreciate you, dog. Cowboys, solid B. Got to see how they put together. I think we all want to see that, but I think right now they're headed in the right direction with the guys they have brought in the fold. I really feel like I said, I think the staff has something to prove more than anything else. Mike McCarthy has something to prove. Like I said before, this isn't a situation where they feel like they won everything and they're pumping out their chest like they've done everything. No, Mike McCarthy's had some good seasons. He's went to a Super Bowl and won it, but he still has something to prove because he got fired. You know what I'm saying? He sat out a whole year. Okay? You got these guys, Tom Sula. They didn't have the greatest year with Washington. Got some good talent, but they weren't winning over there like that. Okay? Mike Nolan. He was over there in San Francisco. Boom, got basically banished. People were talking trash about him. So you got a lot of people on this staff that I feel like they have something to prove with this staff as well, and the team, and to the outside and the naysayers. So that's why I like it, because I feel like it's going to be a lot of motivated minds in that room, in the defensive room, in the linebackers room, in the safety cornerback, in the secondary. I think it's just going to be a lot of people that have something to prove. Lindquist, he hasn't even coached in the NFL yet, right? So he definitely has something to prove. He's been a college guy when he's been a hot name, but now you're stepping into the big boy world. Holla, holla, Shane Scott with the 499. Holla. Give me one more of them. Holla, holla. And I get a donation. Appreciate you, big dog. 499. Holla. Get the Big Game J to the graph. You heard what this man said. Give me to the daggone draft. All right. So, well, I heard y'all say. Now we're about to go to the next subject that I want to talk about. And it's going to be about this guy named Dez Bryant. Y'all, everybody's been talking about some Dez Bryant. Ain't everybody been talking about some Dez Bryant? Huh? Everybody been talking about some Dez Bryant?
Everybody.
So, people getting hyped up. We see Dez Bryant. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I got a little hyped up when I've been watching him on them routes. He been looking good. He been looking crispy. He been looking clean. I mean, he been looking in shape. I mean, 2 years off. You have 2 years of healing. The body looks good. The mind looks good. I mean, everything looks good. But
there's a but.
Let me give you that one. But there's a guy named Stephen Jones there. And as much as we love Dez Bryant, as much as I love to see Dez Bryant, I like to see, hey, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not going to push for it. I'm not, and don't think I'm hating on Dez because I'm not pushing for it. But I mean, there's a lot of other things going on, a lot of other working parts. You got to figure out what's going on with Amari. Are they going to sign him? Are they going to trade him? Are they going to draft a receiver high? There's a lot of receivers in this draft that look really good. So those things could happen. So what's really going to happen? So I don't know if they would bring him in. I don't think Stephen Jones is going to bring him because, number one, Stephen Jones, I feel like, was the main one. They say Garrett and this and that. Yeah, but Garrett ain't writing checks. Okay? You can say Garrett didn't like him, or they didn't get along, or Jason Witten, or Snake Lee, as they were calling him. It could have been whatever, but it don't matter. None of them signed the checks. Stephen Jones signs the checks. And when I heard Stephen Jones talking, like, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I knew Dez was gone. Well, Stephen Jones said, we'll see how it goes. That means you're gone. Okay? You bye. And when Stephen Jones don't, and he's the man now. Okay? Stephen Jones, Jerry, we know Jerry's the man, but Stephen Jones is the man too. Okay? And when Stephen Jones ain't feeling you, dog, you ain't coming back. It's just hard for me to believe and think that Dez Bryant, after 2 years, that Stephen Jones is all of a sudden going to come out of nowhere and say, you know what? Let's bring back Dez. Let's go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and deal with the dominant personality or a possible distraction. Now, I think he wouldn't be that, but it still would be. You get what I'm saying? Now, would it bring money in the seats? Hell to the yeah. Everybody would be coming. So you know Jerry would love that. But as I said before, once Steven gets rid of you, unless you the good old boy like a Jason Witten, you ain't coming back. And I didn't think Dez Bryant was the good old boy. Okay? So that's why I don't think it's coming back. You can get mad at you want me if you want, but I just don't see it coming back. Hey, if it does happen, I'd be super geeked like Dez is back. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it is. You know what I mean? Because Dallas got other concerns in my heart, and right now, I don't think a Dez Bryant signing is their priority. What you think, Skywalker?
Hey, like you said, let us know in the comments if the Dallas Cowboys should consider him coming back. Me personally, it would be an amazing story if they just brought him in, see what he looked like. I personally think he'd make the team, but just like you said, we know this isn't going to happen, man. We know this ain't going to happen. This is the same Stephen Jones who wanted to get him out of there. Not because he doesn't like Dez, but because he wanted to do what's best for the team. And at the time, it was to move on, unfortunately. I know that might hurt some people's feelings, but it just was time to move on and look elsewhere. Now, we didn't fill the receiving core up right, in my opinion. We did that whole wide receiver by committee thing. They learned their lesson, went out and got Amari, got Gallup, Cobb, and we moved forward. Now we have one of the better receiving cores in the league. So I don't see it happening, but it would be a great love story.
Yeah, it would definitely be a great story that if it did happen, like I said, Dez is looking really good in his shape. But as I said before, I just don't see Stephen Jones after he get rid of you after 2 years with that strong of a personality. And we love Dez, but I just don't see him coming back and say, you know what, come on back, Dez. I just feel like there's a lot of other priorities going on with Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott is huge. They got to get him signed. Amari Cooper, they got to figure out what they're going to do. Are they going to keep him? They're not going to keep him. I would love to keep him. James Slater just interviewed him at the Pro Bowl. He says he loves Dallas, and I believe him. One thing I had to back off with Amari Cooper that I am definitely guilty of. Amari Cooper is kind of like my cousin. I got a cousin, right? And his name is G Money. Okay, shout out to you, G
Shout out
Money
to
over there.
G-Money.
G Money be over there killing it. He got his little boxing thing going on. It's been going on for a year, and he's doing his thing. But one thing about G, he never talked, and he always had a straight face. Like G never said nothing. He was always quiet. We called him the quiet storm because he never talked. My cousin never talked about anything. But didn't mean he was mad. Didn't mean he was unhappy. Didn't mean he was sad. It's just that's what he was. He just looked at you. He just quiet, didn't say anything. But once you got to know him, once you got close to him, he was a talker. You get what I'm saying? But he just don't talk to everybody. You feel me? And that's what I had to understand with Amari Cooper. When I look at Amari Cooper's face, you saw the pictures at the Pro Bowl. You seen the picture. Everybody seen the damn picture of him at the Pro Bowl, right?
Everybody.
And it just like, why does Amari always look pissed? He always look mad. But that's just him. That's just who he is. I think that's his way of keeping people away from him. I think that's his way of people staying away from him and not being able to get in his bubble, in his circle. So if you keep a mean face, because that does work, because trust me, as Boo thing, I'll have a mean face at work. I will have the mean face, be happy as hell. But my mean face is going to keep you away from me because I don't want you talking to me. I want you to leave me alone. I don't want you saying nothing to me. So what's the best way to keep me away from me? Looking at you crazy. Then I know you're going to leave me alone. So that's what I think with Amari Cooper. So I have to back off and say, man, he ain't happy in Dallas. No, that's just Amari Cooper. That's the way he looks. When he talks, I always hear him talking about Dallas, and I believe he does want to stay with the Cowboys. I believe he was happy leaving that situation with the Raiders, and he wants to stay with us. It's going to come down to the price. The Cowboys can figure it out, and the Cowboys can make it happen. But the question is, will they? So they still have to worry about Amari Cooper. You still have Robert Quinn, who both sides are saying they love to make it happen, but that's still money, okay? Both sides can love to make it happen, but if the Cowboys offer 11 and another team's offer 13, I don't care how much they both would love to happen. He leaving for 13.
Yep.
Okay? Robert Quinn living for 13. If we offer him 11, somebody offer 13, don't matter how much Robert Quinn loves the Cowboys. He's going to say, hey, man, you're going to have to ante up 13.3 or I'm gone. So they still have to figure that out. You still have to figure out with Byron Jones. And, Lord, that's a whole world of controversy in itself because it's like half people love Byron Jones, half people hate this man. Like, I don't get it.
I noticed you said that on Twitter this week, and you're absolutely right. It's weird. Byron Jones is a very good cover corner. We know he can't get interceptions, and we want interceptions, and I get that. But both of those things can be true. He can be a very good cornerback and also not get turnovers. That's okay to have both. Not okay to have it, but that's okay to acknowledge both, I should say.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I just don't think he's not going to – I mean, even if he left, I still don't think he's going to be that guy where he's going to get a lot of INTs anywhere else. But he's still going to be a very good lockdown type corner. You heard what Will McClay said, hey, he's a starting cornerback in the league. He's very good. We like him. But – but – we need to see if it's going to figure out financially. They can make it work. They can sign all these people if they really want to, but they have to figure out you can sign them now, but those things bump up in 2 or 3 years. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? Though the salary cap it changes, so that's why I think the sticking point is we're going to see what happens. Like I said, I want Byron Jones to come back. I hope they can figure it out. I know they're not going to come with no high deal. The Cowboys don't do it. They're going to lowball you in the beginning. That's what the hell they're going to do. And them agents going to be mad as hell and say, hell no. And then they go with the negotiating again. So we'll see what happens. So that's why I just don't see the Dez Bryant coming back because there's too many other issues that the Cowboys are dealing with. And that's one issue I just feel like they don't want to deal with. And regardless of how humble I believe Dez would be, I still feel like he's still an alpha dog.
Yep.
He's still a dominant personality. And his dominant personality would take over that locker room again. He just is. It's not his fault, but he just is a dominant personality. And he's vocal. You think Dez is gonna be quiet if some things are happening? No,
Yeah.
he's not. It's not in him. He's not quiet on Twitter. You think he's gonna be quiet in the locker room? He goes ham on Twitter. Dez goes nuts on Twitter. You think he's gonna be quiet in the locker room? He's not.
No.
He's not, folks. He's just not. So I just don't feel like they're gonna revisit it. That's just my opinion. If you don't like it, it's okay. We don't have to agree. But I think I'm probably gonna be right.
I don't want to pronounce this wrong, but Lunzadis. He says you want another Jason Witten situation like last season. Bringing Dez back would be Jason Witten situation 2.0.
I can feel that. I can agree with that. Now, obviously, I think he can offer a little more than Jason Witten can as far as yards after catch, but we're still talking about the distraction. That's what I feel like it's going to be. And the Cowboys just don't really need that, especially when you're going with a new coach, new staff, everything going new. Why would you go back to the old? Now, please don't crucify me for it. It's not saying I don't want it. It's just when I look at the Cowboys, I'm not saying I try to think like them, but I try to think like them. I try to think. I try to think like they would think, not try to think as an emotional person or a fan or anything like that. I try to think, how would they think? And I just don't see them saying, yeah, let's go get Dez Bryant because that sounds good to us. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I know we love to have our opinions and stuff, but when you remove that aside, you have to start thinking like the team is thinking. That's why we always knew what the team was going to do under the Jason Garrett era because they did the same thing every year. They drafted the same way. They signed the same type of free agents, and it was really easy to pinpoint it as a fan and obviously as a opposing coach as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know what? Sorry. That's all I can say about that. Now, because it's late night, but it's the weekend. Y'all ain't got nowhere to go, do you? Unless you work early in the morning on a Saturday, and I feel bad for you if you do. I feel bad for you. But let's talk a little bit about this Senior Bowl. Now, guess what? I don't got the channels all like that. I'm going to get them. But you know what? Booth ain't be regulating over in here. So I got to always, check with her. But guess what? I've been able to check out a few little bit of Senior Bowl things. A few little bit of Senior Bowl things. And guess what? There's some guys that's kind of sticking out right now. And now I know we all been talking about Javon Kinlaw, right? He's been looking great, okay? But he got he basically left after a couple days. He was experiencing tendonitis in his knee. So you know what? They basically said you solidified your spot. You a top 15 guy, if not maybe could be a top 10. Who knows? We never know how the draft falls. But he's pretty much legitimized his stock in the NFL, right? And he was kind of like the darling of who we can grab at 17 at the defensive tackle position. 6'6",
big boy.
I mean, 6'6". I mean, that brings back to David Irvin to me.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? That, and I don't care what anybody says. I did not like David Irvin's laziness, but damn it, excuse the language, I love that talent though. My God, he was good. My God,
watch your profanity.
There you go.
He was very good.
But dog, check this out. When David Irvin left, that hurt our defense, man. That hurt our defense pretty bad. Okay, just imagine if we would have had David Irvin and Randy Gregory this year.
I think those days are over with this coach. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be drafting guys like that.
No, because we don't have time to be, oh, okay, you know what, you're a red flag. We're going to go past you. We ain't got time for that. I think they're going to be more cognizant of that and not taking the chances on people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is what no, we're not going to take that chance. But we all talked. I talked about Kinlaw, okay, and I think some people have mentioned as well. But the defensive tackle for Oklahoma, I have seen him because I'm a Texas fan. But what's his name with your boy? I just want to make sure I'm
Is that
right
the
on here.
Gilmore kid?
Gillimore
Okay.
is it Gillimore from
Is that
Oklahoma
is
defensive
that him?
tackle.
The
Yes.
Gilmore kid?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Gillimore kid from. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all. I've been seeing the practices with the South practices. That kid's been disruptive, super disruptive, dog. Like he is very disruptive at the point of the line of scrimmage, penetrating a lot of the plays, damn near every single time. I mean, the kid looked good, and I wouldn't be opposed. I don't know if he would jump at a 17. I don't know if that, but his stock is rising. If he does good in that Senior Bowl, he's a guy, and they'll look at how he does in the combine. But he's a guy to keep your eye on. Now I know we talked about the kid from Utah. He had a medical red flag, so he did not. I don't believe did not practice all week. I don't know if he's even playing in the game. Okay, but. That's a guy to keep an eye on, but he already has a medical red flag, so that scares me. The leaky kid from Utah, but that's the type of size you want. All right. Now, I don't know. We could possibly have the brown kid from Auburn because he's just kind of like solid.
I hope he
But,
fall. I hope he goes into the draft day with the gas mask on his face.
but you just said if he had a gas mask, Cowboys wouldn't go that route. What kind of players?
Well, that's
Skywalker.
one of them players. You have to-
Oh no, he's the exception, huh? Oh, he can put the gas mask on, huh?
just a drop. That's all.
He could put the gas mask on. Yeah, he's a beast. But there's so many different players that could show up. Guys that kind of stuck out for me, and I'm trying to get my list because it was on here. I just lost it. But some guys that kind of stood out for me. I was looking at cornerback because that's kind of my favorite position. But that Dane Alexander Armstrong kid from Pittsburgh, I like him. He's a scrappy little cornerback. He's about 6 foot. He's not super little, but 6 foot, 190 pounds. I think he's a guy that's an Anthony Brown replacement because I don't see Anthony Brown coming back. So I see him being an Anthony Brown type replacement. Okay. Also, a safety that I was kind of showing up in my heart was I was looking at just at the measurables, and he looked pretty decent in the practices, but I like to see him in the game. Is Jeremy Chin, uh, 6'3", 217-pound safety. Man, he's got the rock size figure.
That's the size right there.
Obviously he played in a smaller conference. I believe he played with Southern Illinois. Correct me if I'm wrong. Give me the college for him. Um, also, but he looked good as far as his
Who's that?
traits. Um, Jeremy
Okay.
Chin, 6'3", 217 pound. I love having a big safety. I know some of those guys get overrated because they're big and they're probably
Southern
not
Illinois.
don't have the hips. Southern Illinois, Salukis. So some of those guys don't transition at the hip, but he could be that linebacker type safety role. Remember how Brian Urlacher, when he came in
Safety.
at New Mexico, he was a safety.
Mm-hmm.
He built up and became a linebacker. So that's a guy that could be a hybrid position. So keep an eye on him. Another player that I was liking during the Senior Bowl, if you're talking, I'm strictly love the defense, but offensive player that really stood out to me, there's been some guys, but that KJ Hill from Ohio State, he been looking nasty as hell. I think we can scoop him. Okay. He's just good. And I hate to say it because I got Buckeye people around here and they be trying to jump on here. You like the Buckeyes? No, I don't. No, I don't like the Buckeyes, but I like KJ Hill, and he's looked tremendous in these
Question:
practices.
Is KJ more of a slot guy, or is he a 0x?
He's more of a slot
Okay.
guy to me because he's around about that
Smaller guy.
5'11", 6 foot, maybe smaller guy. But man, his route running is crispy. Crispy Skywalker. He looked just really good. Also, Devin Delaney from Texas, speedster. He kind of stood out to me as well. I don't know how the linebackers are really going to go. Michigan linebacker. I'm going to pull his name up. I've got to get him right now.
Senior.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, he played linebacker for Michigan. I got his name. Just got to get him. He's been kind of standing up. Okay, here we go.
Is it Kenny Wilk? No, that's Michigan State.
Nope.
Josh Oosh.
Yes, Josh Oosh. Man, dog, Will. Now everybody's been talking about him, right? Everybody's been talking about him. Man, his him coming off the edge. So I looked at some practices, dog, for real. Coming off the edge, dropping in coverage, physical at the point of line of scrimmage. Man, getting back there. I don't know if he's a guy that, because Michigan players, they be good in college, and then they get to the pros, they just don't do as good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my only kind of scary thing with them, that when they come to the league, they don't do great. But I believe didn't they have a cat Chase oh my God, Winovich
Chase
play
Winovich,
for the Patriots?
he's
Yeah,
balling though.
he did. Yeah, he balled. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying, you know what? It could be okay. It could be okay. But he's another player that has looked really good. Van Jefferson from Florida. Another receiver that's looked really good in the Senior Bowl. Good
Van
speedster, can
Jefferson.
stretch the field. Keep an eye on him because the Cowboys going to draft a receiver. They're going to draft a receiver, and I think they're going to draft a receiver within the first 4 rounds.
So we're not. You don't see it. You don't see a Cobb coming back.
I don't know. I feel like there's now. Here's my thing with this Skywalker with Cobb. I liked him coming back, but this receiver class is so daggone deep.
It is.
It is deep.
Yeah.
You can lose a Cobb and get a rookie in there, and he can come right in and do the thing that Cobb can do, and he's younger and he's going to be cheaper.
See, I don't know if I thought Cobb was going to come back until then McCarthy got hired. So now I'm like, well, if they brought McCarthy in, he loves
But
Cobb.
dog, with these receivers, man, I just don't know. I don't know if he comes. I don't know because I know the relationship and he was there and you could see the love. But that's all good until we talking money. You get what I'm saying? And when you could get a younger, cheaper version and get 55 receptions like Cobb did, that you can probably pluck one of these rookies and they can do that because these rookies there's a lot of receivers, Will, in this draft.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, he would.
And there's a lot of good ones.
He would probably have to take a massive discount.
Yes, he definitely would. So those are just a few names to keep an eye on. I got another cornerback that I was liking in here too. Give me 1 second. Because the North's got a lot of players as well. The North's got that Stonebridge kid from North Carolina. He's another player that they've been talking about. I went and watched some of his tape. Good player off the edge, good speed, got some pretty good power. Was getting swallowed up a little bit, but his speed off the edge is something that kind of jumped out to me. Florida kid, I'm trying to find him. Zabari, Zinowich, I think it's Zungaya, Jabari Zungaya. He's another guy that was edge player from Florida. Keep an eye on him. 6'5", about 248 pounds. Real good off the edge. Because I think the Cowboys, because when you look at the defensive line as a whole, Will, you got a lot of free agents. You got a lot of unproven players at the defensive end position. If you don't, let's say you don't re-sign Robert Quinn, oh man, all you got is DeMarcus Lawrence again.
Yeah.
All you got is D-Law again because Dorrance Armstrong Jr., I thought he was going to take a step up from this his rookie year. He didn't. Joe Jackson.
We talked about that during the season, or before the season actually, when we were like, there's a lot of unproven guys behind Quinn and D-Law.
Unapproved. Yeah. Besides Quinn and D-Law, you got nothing but unproven players. So you got Joe Jackson. You didn't really get to see what he was. You got Tristan Hill on the line, and people are calling him a bust, but I think he still has potential. You'll see what Tom Sula can bring the best out of him. And then also, I love Jalen Jelks, but we don't know if he's going to be playing end or linebacker. So even then, they're all unproven.
Think about this for a second. Those were picks from the previous staff. Those are guys Rob Marinelli fell in love with.
So there's no loyalty.
Yeah. Joe Jackson, Armstrong, Jelks. Those are kind of fringy guys that really probably don't make a team for anybody else last year. That
don't sleep on Jelks. Don't sleep on Jelks.
Well, I like Joe, actually. Joe's good, but I'm just saying a more proven veteran defensive line, those guys probably don't dress. They probably don't make the team. But Marinelli liked Tristan Hill. He liked Joe Jackson, and he loves to bring in those guys that aren't going to move the needle too much, and he can yell and scream, and they just kind of tote the line. Well, I don't know if Jim Tom Sula is going to be with that. We're not sure. I know we want more beef, according to him and Will McClay. So maybe these guys don't fit the mold anymore.
Yeah, we're going to find out. I think Tyrone Church just call on Tyrone.
Hey, what's up, Tyrone?
What's up with your big dog? He says go sign Kerry Hyder. I agree with that. Chris Covington is another guy that they brought back in, and I'm not really tripping if you don't bring him back. He's okay, but I definitely feel like you want to get a Kerry Hyder back. I like Kerry Hyder, what he did. I think he was very effective in his time that he played. You can play multiple positions for the Cowboys, and he's still young. He's not an old guy. So I definitely would definitely welcome the Kerry Hyder. I'm not tripping on the Covington coming back. Antoine Woods, I like Antoine Woods coming back as a backup. I'll definitely like him coming as a backup. Eastside Harold, hey ho, there he
Hi-yo.
goes with a $2 holla holla. Donation.
Gotcha.
I love it. Oh man, go ahead on with Dallas needs to draft a quarterback. You're sitting at home like us, hush. And your quarterback's over there playing in the
Well, you
Pro
knew that
Bowl,
was
but
coming.
he ain't playing in no Super Bowl. He ain't playing no Super Bowl, Eastside Harold, and y'all got murdered. So you hush up. Don't hear none of you talking.
Oh, that's right. He's
okay?
a Texan fan.
Yeah, he that Texans fan and blah, blah, blah. We don't want to hear that. And oh, yes. So let me ask you this, Will, since you're on here. What do you think about Donovan Wilson, dog?
Well, Linquist is here. I'm very intrigued with that.
Texas A&M. You
I
feel
am
me?
very intrigued.
I think he gets a big shot. I think he gets every opportunity to show his work.
I'm really excited for that. Now that does not mean don't go out and go get a safety.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean you can't draft one at 17. That doesn't mean that at all. Or it doesn't mean you still can't get Jamal Adams for a first or fourth and Tristan Hill.
There we go. I'm not.
What do you think about that?
For a fourth and Tristan Hill? Well, we got. Do they even want Tristan?
First, they're not gonna go for a fourth
do they
and
even
Tristan
want
Hill.
Tristan Hill?
A first, let's say a first, a fourth, and a Tristan Hill. You have a young defensive tackle, the 3 tech. You why couldn't you use him? He's young. A fourth and a first, and him.
Listen,
what do you think? Jamal Adams.
That's my next video. Actually, I'm going to make. It's about because everybody's we're all talking about the Senior Bowl and the draft and mocks and all that stuff. And in my head, I'm like, I don't even want Dallas to have the 17th overall pick. And people are like, well, why not? Because I want them to use it to go get Jamal Adams.
Go get him, like dog. Come on, go get him. Like, period. You can revisit it, see what they're talking about, and like I said, if Jamal Adams really forced the issue, I believe it could really happen. Hey ho! I was waiting.
My guy.
Dollar, Two Nation. Said Two Nation.
Join the nation.
Donation. What's up, Tyrone? He says, I think we should double dip at D lineman in the draft. I wouldn't be mad at that, but here's the thing. You can get a pick of free agents, but what about the defensive free agents that are out there that are at the defensive tackle position? There's a lot of good ones out there, okay? Like I said, let me bring up I don't know if you pull it up for me, Will, if you could. The defensive tackle from Buffalo, I really like him.
Jordan Phillips, brother. I already got it for
Jordan Phillips. I keep on. That's my guy. I keep talking about him. I don't know why. I love him because he's that 6'6", and he's a legit 325.
No, he's 340, brother.
There you go.
He's a mountain.
See what I'm saying? That's the guy I want, Will. I know we're talking about other players, but I want him.
I did a video the other day, and he was my first guy I brought up.
There it is, dog. See, Will. See, that's what I'm saying. Great minds think alike. That's why we do. That's why we do things together because we have the minds.
Thanks.
6'6", 340 pounds, and he young. Mm-hmm. He ain't no 30 years old. He ain't 32. He young. He's 27, I think. 26, 27.
26 years old.
And he's not going to break the bank. He played on $4 million last year. He's not going to break the bank. He didn't have a.
No, you're right. He's not. According to Spot Rack, his average annual salary is only going to be $6.1 million. I'm trying to find this thing here for you.
You get what I'm saying? Pull that up for me, dog, because I know there's some names out there. Some people have brought up. What's his name? He's a big fat boy. I love fat boys. The fat boys are back.
Yeah.
And you know they can never be whack. I love the fat boys. So my thing, I like fat boys, but I like once I seen that, because you remember, Will, remember when the Jacksonville Jaguars, remember when they had John Henderson and oh my gosh, they had the two defense. John Henderson was 6'7",
Henderson,
and then they had the other cat that was like 6'6" or 6'7" too.
Name.
Were they nasty in the middle? Somebody give me them names. It was John Henderson, and what was the other cat? He was a dog too, and he was from Texas, I believe.
Who was? Oh man, that's gonna bug me. I'm gonna find it.
It's gonna bug me. Well, because they were nasty at the Jacksonville Jaguar defensive tackle position. They had two big gigantor dinosaurs in that middle, and that's
Marcus
what I
Stroud.
want. I don't want. Marcus
That's his
Stroud. There you
name.
go.
I think that was him, right?
Two big, strong boys. And that what was that? And when they had them, was that defensive
Oh
line with
man, it was
Jacksonville
tough
nasty?
to run on them.
It was tough to run on them big dogs. It was tough to run on them big boys. That's what I want, Will. That's what I want. And that's why I have that fascination for Jordan Phillips. And I think that's why I like Kinlaw, because he's that 6'6". We've had 6'2", Will. We've had 6'1". We've had 6 foots. I don't want that. I want a big one. Now, if you give me a 6'2" and he's like 350, okay. But if he ain't that, I need like a 6'5", 6'6", and I want him slap daggone in the middle, and I want him creating havoc. Because when you get that, you got people can bat down balls too.
Yeah.
And that was Dave Irvin was great with that. You definitely command that double team, and you have speed with it. Now you're making DeMarcus Lawrence, and if you happen to bring back Robert Quinn too, now you're feeling great about yourself. So that's why I like a Kinlaw, because I like that height and size.
Yeah, Phillips did a lot of that in Miami, and last year he had 9.5 sacks at 6'6", 340 pounds, 40 pounds. That's nutty.
Dog.
You know.
Hey ho!
Got another one.
$5 holla. Donation. I love you for that. I just want to let you know I love you for that. He said, "Bring the Fat Boys back, baby, and play that song for you tonight." If you don't know about the Fat Boys, just play it tonight, and you'll be singing the Fat Boys.
I had it lined
back.
up, but for copyright
and you know
purposes, I didn't want to play it.
I feel you, because you know to be on there like, and copywritten strike.
Yeah, brother.
But yes, we all about them Fat Boys. So I think it's something to keep our eyes on.
I got two other ones for you.
Bring it up. Bring them out. It's hard to yell with the barrels in your mouth.
Bring them out. What y'all know about Michael Pierce, the fat boy from Baltimore? He's 6 foot, 340-pound run stuffer.
I heard about him. 340, like I said. 6 foot I don't like, but 340 I do. And if you're commanding double teams, that's what I want. Tough and gritty, and he's
Baltimore. Tough to move, brother. Very, very tough to move. He didn't have have his greatest year. The greatest year last year. It was a good one though, but it wasn't a Pro Bowl one. But he still was one of the best run defenders last year. But in 2018, he was top 5, I think, in run defense according to PFF. He had a 92 grade. So, and what do we need? We need guys to help keep our linebackers clean.
Clean, and we just got a good linebackers coach. We need to keep them clean. We know Jalen Smith is better when nobody's touching him. And when Ray Lewis was with them daggone Baltimore Ravens, and he said he was winning championships, he said, "You know what I need? I need a fat boy in the middle, because I need to be able to do my job effectively." And what did they go get?
Fat boy.
Haugie, what's his name? What's his name from Oregon? Big boy. Haugie Nada.
Oh, Nada, yeah.
And then before that, they had your big boy. What was the big boy's name? Saragusa, the Goose.
They had Sam. Was it Sam? Was it Sam Adams?
Sam
Adams and Tony Saragusa.
Oh my God, Sam. Oh my God, are you serious? Remember Sam Adams? That boy was like 6'3", like 380.
He was huge.
Him and the Goose. And why were they so good? Because you had those guys blocking up that middle. Now your linebackers are free to penetrate them gaps, blow up the backfield, blow up them screens, kept them clean, and that's what Ray Lewis was clamoring for. He said, "I need a fat boy." He said it. Go get me one. And that's what the Ravens did, and guess what happened? They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were dominant. They were dominant defense. Even though they didn't win a bunch of Super Bowls, they were hard to defend. Hard to run against.
Even look at the Niners. When they got Buckner from Oregon, I believe, what was 6'8"? He's just really coming into his own.
Or Eric Armstead.
Yes, and he like 6'7", 6'8".
They're both over 6'5".
You feel me? Are you understanding the theme here, folks? Understand the theme. I want the big, tall, big guys. It's going to make a difference in there. And if it's out there as far as the draft, if Kinlaw comes to us and that's at 17, I'm saying we go get that dog. We can get a safety. We can still pull the trigger. We can figure it out. I want Jamal Adams. If we can give away that 17 pick, you can still scoop somebody either in free agency. You can still get somebody good, but we'll see what happens. I just feel like, to me, Skywalker, that the Cowboys are going to make a splash. I feel like the Cowboys are going to make a splash this year, either trading up, trading down, trading out, making a trade, picking somebody up. I feel like the Cowboys, with these defensive people they picked up, with Tom Sewell and them, I feel like they're going to make a splash. That's just my opinion. The way they made that splash with Amari Cooper, I feel like some kind of splash is going to happen on the defensive side of the ball this year. So just be looking out for that, and I said it to you.
You definitely could be right. Maybe the splash, if it's not Jamal Adams, which I'm really hoping it is a high safety or probably safety, because if you go back and look at Mark McCarthy's history, he's drafted safeties high in the first and second round. You know, he's drafted a bunch of DBs actually in the first and second round. I think 8 of them in his time with the Green Bay Packers, he drafted a DB in the first and second round. The Cowboys, 3 times. 2012,
Exactly.
Mo Claiborne. 2015, Byron Jones. And I'm missing one more. Oh, Awuzie. That's it. Yeah.
Man. Hey, ho, Tyrone Church with the $4 donation. He says on this one, if Jamal Adams don't work, sign Carl Joseph because of age. And the Cowboys seem to have an infatuation. I think the people keep bringing him back. He's only 26 years old. He got hurt toward the end of the year, had like about 50 tackles this year. I don't care, but I want impact. He's not impact to me. I need impact. You feel me? I need impact. Hey, ho, he comes with another $2. Holla. Donation. Oh, I got it with him. Will. $2 holla. And he says, imagine Quinn with Danny Shelton. What about you think about Danny Shelton?
Another one that was on my free agency primer. I had.
And he's a good age. He's like 27, isn't he?
Career year. He's coming off a career year, about 26, 27 years old. He had 61 tackles. A 6'2", 345-pound man having 61 tackles.
Damn good. 61 freaking tackles? That's freaking
very
beastie.
Active. 6 quarterback hits, including one where he almost killed Dak Prescott up there.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I like Danny Shelton. And
I've always liked Danny Shelton.
His average annual market value is at $4.7 million. And honestly, I think we could get him cheaper than that. I don't think he has enough resume.
And here's the thing, Skywalker. When people say stuff about Dallas, these players still want to come to Dallas. They can say what they want, but when Jerry Jones calls you and say, "Hey, I want you to come here," you best believe their ears are open.
Absolutely.
Their ears are open. They ain't turning down no Dallas Cowboys.
These fans might, laugh at us and, the Cowboys, this and that, but best and believe if Jerry Jones rolls out that red carpet or you go meet Jerry, people fall in love with him. They love him.
They love him all day. So I don't people try to act like it's different. No, it's real. You get what I'm saying? It's real. All right. So we talked about that. I want to just ask y'all a quick topic because this man retired. This man retired. Eli Manning. Shout outs to you, Eli. I can't hate on you, Eli. He did some damage to Dallas. We can't front and say he used to do some damage to Dallas. He used to get on my damn nerves because you be having him sacked. It'd be pissing me off about him. You be having him sacked, Skywalker. Having him sacked. And he just throw it up in the air, and it'd be a 60-yard touchdown. I'm like, how does he
He's the
do
king
it?
Of YOLO
pissing
passes.
me off. Dog, and we seen it in the Super Bowl. So the question we're going to ask, is Eli Manning a Hall of Fame?
Y'all tell me in the comments. I'll save my response for later.
I'm gonna tell you. I already know my response. I'm already tell you about. Hell no, but he's going.
You think?
Hell no, but he's going. Man. Why? Okay, well I'm gonna tell you why. I think he's 7th all time in passing yards, over 57,000 passing yards. But his record is like 117, 500 record. Okay, and when you watched Eli, he ain't really do nothing super dope. He had big moments in some big games, but the thing that's gonna get Eli Manning to this damn Hall of Fame is them 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And Joe Namath is in there, and they're all talking about if Joe Namath got in there with those type of stats, why can't Eli Manning?
Yeah, Joe Namath, I think, is the one everyone goes to.
He does right. That's what they're going to because he don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I
Joe
think
Namath
he's
don't
in there
deserve
for
to
a
be in the Hall
different
of Fame.
reason. The guarantee, helping,
Yeah,
helping.
that's it. The
Yeah,
icon.
and off the field, he
icon.
probably was the most famous player during his era. So
it's right. Yeah. So it's a popularity contest. That's why T.O. took so long to get in. I mean, Terrell Davis, he was nasty, but he didn't have played, 5-6 years? He got in the Hall of Fame. Lynn Swann over Drew Pearson?
Yeah, that's a big one in Dallas Cowboys land.
Cliff Branch still ain't in. It took forever for Art Monk to get in. No. So you got a lot of players that should be but are not, but the popularity you're going to get them in. And why is Eli Manning going to get in? Because he beat the Patriots when they were undefeated. He beat the Patriots again. And in those 2 years, I believe he had 13 to 15 touchdowns, only 2 picks in those 07 and 11 years. And those teams were not good. We saw the 07 team because we lost to them.
Yeah.
That was our Super Bowl year.
Yeah, that one was a tough pill to swallow,
And they came in as a booty wild card, and Eli Manning played great in the playoffs. And they beat.
So we know he's likely going to get in because of the Super Bowls, right?
Yeah,
but I think it's more to do with not just the Super Bowl, the game, but the runs that he went on in the playoffs. He was a damn good playoff quarterback for the most part.
Right.
And got to give him props for that.
I don't know about that. Because if you look at his other playoff runs, he didn't win no playoff game.
You know what's funny? They barely went to the playoffs after, their 2011 run.
The Super Bowl years, beyond that, when he went to the playoffs, he was not good. Their record, I don't think he won playoff games besides those Super Bowls.
He did. He beat I think the Eagles in one of them, but that's it. He didn't win many outside of that. But again, I think it was a wild card twice, right? I believe they were a wild card twice, or they.
They were wild. I believe because those 11 and 2011 and the 11 teams were weak.
12-win teams.
They were not good teams. They were not good teams at all.
I don't believe Eli Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game. Absolutely don't. I believe he had a very pedestrian but solid career, a very good career for an NFL player to play as long as he did. But his outliers are 2 years. That's it. He had 2 spectacular postseason runs. And I don't know that garners you to be considered one of the best players to ever play this game. Get your jersey retired in New York. Get a statue put up. You're Mr. Giant. All that good stuff, man. But Hall of Famer? I'm sorry, man. I don't see it.
Okay, because here it is. That's what I was saying. 8-4 career in the playoffs. Good. But 2007 and 11 was the 8 wins.
So he didn't have a win outside. Interesting.
He never won outside of that. He was 0 and whatever.
But look
in the playoffs
look at his touchdown interception ratio. It's pretty damn good, ain't it?
Oh, it's nasty because his touchdown to interception ratio in that time when he won that is 15
that's
to 2.
That's one of the greatest of all time. That's crazy.
15-2 in those 2 runs. I mean, that's why he's going to get in there. And plus, he's Eli Manning.
He's a Manning.
Let's keep it real. He's Eli Manning, dog. He's Peyton Manning's brother.
Hey,
come on.
Factoid.
He led the league in interceptions 3 years.
I got a factoid about the Mannings. You know who has made the most money in the history of the NFL? Eli Manning. Number 2, Peyton Manning. That's crazy.
Them 2. Ain't that crazy? But that's what I'm saying. If Peyton Manning was a big choker. He was a big-time choker in the playoffs.
Of Eli, I'm sorry.
He was a super choker. And it wasn't until really, if he didn't go to Denver and get them Super Bowls, no. He probably still would have went there, but, everybody been like, he was a choker, though. Them 2 Super Bowls solidified Peyton, in my opinion, with Denver.
No, solidified him?
I do,
What do you mean, like solidified him as one of the...
I think solidified him as not one of the all-time chokers, because he had that stigma for a very long time.
Honestly, he should have had it harder than he did because Tony got it unjustly, in my opinion, when Peyton was the one kept going to the playoffs and losing. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I mean, John Elway was a choker forever. Until he got Terrell Davis.
Super Bowls before he won one.
He went to 5. He went to 3 before he won anything, and then won the last 2.
Yeah,
But that's because he had Terrell Davis.
and it wasn't like they were leaning on him in those Super Bowl runs either.
No, they were leaning on that running game. So like I said, Eli Manning, I would give him his props as far as him being a very good quarterback with the Giants. He had a very good NFL career, very good NFL career, and he's going to get to the Hall of Fame. But when I look at Eli Manning, I don't look at a Hall of Fame quarterback. But Rich Gosselin, who I was telling you about, we were talking a little bit. Rich Gosselin was one of the Rick Gosselin is one of the who's who of guys. This is what his quote was, and I really fed off of that. He said, Eli Manning had Hall of Fame moments, but he didn't have a Hall of Fame career.
Boom. Ooh.
And if that don't sell it right there, that's what my thoughts are too. He had some Hall of Fame moments, but he didn't have a Hall of Fame career. But he's going to get in there regardless.
Said, Eli Manning beat an undefeated team in the Super Bowl. Give him his props. I hate the Giants. Yeah, we are giving him his props, Tariq.
I'm gonna give him his props, but let's be honest though. You watched that Super Bowl. Did you see that Giants defense? What they did to Tom Brady?
Yeah,
they only scored 14 points.
Well, I think in that game, that's where Eli's clutchness came in. We have to give. I mean, that was the greatest play of all time in the Super Bowl.
That was the luckiest play of all time.
Actually, I should not say the greatest because
that's the luckiest play of all time. You know what I think?
Okay? And I don't mean to derail this here, but that Harrison interception on the 1 yard line, and then the return the Steelers against the
Cardinals.
That's one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in the Super Bowl.
That's a top 10. That's a top 10 all time.
It's unbelievable. But
yeah, that's top 5. Eli's is in there.
His is top
5. He's probably almost 1 or 2.
Is definitely top 5.
That play is almost 1. That's probably my 1 or 2 top plays ever in Super Bowl history because they're undefeated. You're about to get sacked. I thought they were going to blow the whistle when I was watching the game. I thought they were going to blow the whistle and thought they were going to pull him in there for a sack. And for you to heave that ball, that's just meant the football guy said, you know what, Patriots, you cheated. You cheated, Pitt. You just straight cheated, and I'm not going to allow it. So I'm going to allow David Tyree to catch this ball, and I'm not going to allow you to win this because it's the football guys. But that throw he threw in that 11 to Mario Manningham was ridiculous.
His greatest throw of his career.
That was probably his best throw I've ever seen him ever throw. That was on a dime, and that man was right there. As soon as he caught it, he got level.
It was the best throw of his career, bar none, in my opinion.
I totally agree with that. So my opinion, shouldn't go, but he is going to go.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, so I don't hate on him. Yeah, okay. I feel you, Luns. He said, call him Luns. He said, whoa, big game, James. Peyton won a Super Bowl in Indy. Yeah, okay. After how many tries though? Thank you. And they played the Bears with Rex Grossman. I don't know if I can give you that one. Chicago Bears with Rex Grossman. I don't know about that one. And then, he went to 4. There, give me another one of that, of Rex Grossman. Thank you. Peyton, 4 Super Bowls with 4 different head coaches. 2 of them were average. Yeah, that's very impressive. But let's also look at when he went to the Denver Broncos. Did they have a very good team?
Yeah, one of the greatest defenses of all
time. Did they have a very good defense?
It was his Darrell.
He didn't win the Super Bowl against Carolina.
Oh, he
that defense did. And he got benched, remember?
For Brock
are we going to forget he got benched for Brock Osweiler?
Yeah, I don't think we can say – I don't think we can – well, no, he said they went to the Super Bowl he went to the Super Bowl with 4 different coaches. Remember, when they lost to Seattle, he did lead that team to the Super Bowl. He had an all-time
He did.
Yeah. He got smashed.
But they got smashed. And how did he play in that Super Bowl?
Not good.
Absolutely hot water garbage, trash. Exactly. So, yeah, he went there with 4 different. I can't take that away. But in the Super Bowls, you played against. I'm not taking. But you played against Rex Grossman, dog. Rex Grossman and the Bears. We didn't. Nobody was really fearing the. I don't know how they got there. It was that damn defense. Okay. And then, like I said, it is what it is. I ain't gonna hate on Peyton or Eli, but I ain't gonna give y'all all-time props neither.
Oh, you gonna give Peyton all-time props?
No, I'll give Peyton all-time props because he's one of the best quarterbacks ever. But I'm saying he was a big-time choker too. He was. I don't care what you tell me. Peyton was dope, but he was a choker too, man. I don't care. He was a choker too.
If it wasn't for the Patriots, man, I think Peyton would have at least 4 Super Bowls.
But it was the Patriots though, and they were
Yep.
whooping his ass. And if you're so great, you should have toppled him a lot more times.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They had his number. They absolutely had his number.
They had his number. How many times do we see them get knocked out of the playoffs, man? It was crazy. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, we'll see what happens, what's going on. But you know what? It's almost
Oh my
1 in the
gosh, I
morning.
didn't even
I'm not
realize
gonna
that.
keep y'all.
We was having fun.
Yeah, it's almost 1 in the morning. Hell, look at the crowd
1
we
in the
have
morning.
at 1 in the morning. I love
Appreciate
you
y'all.
guys. I love you guys. And let me give a big shout out to my guy. You don't have to do this more, Will. I like how you just be quiet and then you just jump in, and then I like
on,
that.
man.
I like that. I like that. I know you got your own shows, and go over there and subscribe to Skywalker Still. His stuff is popping. He probably gonna drop a video with Jamal Adams. Probably gonna get 30,000 K for watching it. So please go over there and check it out.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
man's a dog. He did the show today. He's a beast. He's my young Skywalker, and you know he gonna be on the ones and twos. May not be on there all the time, but you will know when he is, because he'll jump in there and interject. So we got this dynamic duo team I told y'all about a long time ago. I told y'all about it. Y'all didn't believe me, but I told you about it. I said Skywalker, watch out for him, and he a beast. Y'all know how we get down with me and Law Nation. You know that's my dog, but this is my young guy right here. And you better keep your eye on him, because he's going to take over the industry, and I'm not playing when I say it. So you just go over there and subscribe to him. If you haven't subscribed to Skywalker Still, get your butt over there right now and hit like.
Hey, man,
now.
I greatly appreciate that, brother. Real rap.
So make sure you do that. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, because he's going to be on the ones and twos tomorrow. I'm going to have Tom Downey. I don't know if you know about him, Dallas Cowboys Sports Chat. Nice big. They're pretty big, aren't they, Will?
Huge.
They're pretty big.
I'm pretty sure
huge.
a lot of people know who they are.
Their production is flame on.
Yeah.
And their production is flame on. They got a good backing. And I've had Tom Downey on the show a time before. It was I think it was 2018, I believe. It was 2018. We had him on. Had a really good talk, and he's going to be on tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please jump in there. We're going to have a good talk, good mumbo jumbo, all that good stuff. And you know how we do. Will be in there on the ones and twos. He'll probably interject as well. So we'll have a good time and maybe drop another show at the nighttime. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But great time. Appreciate all the donations. I told y'all need to get me to Nevada. We're going to be working on the donation. And I need them. Holla, holla. Holla, holla. I just love that. I love when he does it. It makes me want to get that. You remember how he was bouncing the cars? He's a holla, holla on the video. It just makes me want to bounce the cars when he does that. Just makes me want to bounce the cars when he does it. Okay. But like I said, tune in tomorrow. We're going to have a good fire, flame on. You know how we do. Senior Bowl is tomorrow as well. So make sure, if you're not watching, get on there and watch that Senior Bowl. I'll be watching it as well. We'll have some maybe breakdowns. I'm able to post that whole game. So if you miss it, it will be on the Big Game James page. And before we get off, Skywalker, tell them where they can find you, big dog.
Can find me, like he said, on YouTube, Skywalker Still. So you're already on YouTube right now. What you waiting for? Go over there.
Yeah. What you waiting on?
Just go over there,
like
subscribe. I'm going to continue to try to bring some cool videos and the knowledge, of course. Like, that's the number one thing is we try to keep the real. If you listen to our podcast, which will obviously start up season 2 of the podcast, we had a ball with that, by the way.
Yes, we did, and you need to go supply that.
Yeah, definitely, man. On Apple, Spotify, all over the place. Season 2 of that will be coming up probably around draft time or something. So you can get me on there and on Twitter at Because Cowboys, spelled out just like you would think, at Because Cowboys. I do a lot of Cowboys talk on Twitter. So look out, like he said, man. Look out for us for this production for the future. The DC4L download on Facebook. We are excited for that.
Oh, that's gonna be fire. That's gonna be fire. Hey, make sure y'all tune in. Hey, my guy Scott 20 says, "Yo got fire, flame. Yo got fire.
Yo got fire.
Flame." And if you know anything, please go play that video game, because if you don't know nothing about that Street Fighter, yo got fire.
How you get
flame with them old long legs? Hey, you feel me? Hey, you get the dip, smacking you like fools, man. That's how you do. That's what we probably gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all there tomorrow.
Anyway, please go check out DC4L. We go be a subscriber. Go, it's a private group. Go say, I want to be a subscriber too. Get in there like that, because it's going down next month. We're going to be doing a weekly show in there, and actually games, prizes, giveaways, all that good stuff, trips, everything. We're trying to make it so hot up in there, so we can only make it hot without We can't do it without y'all. So everybody that's supporting me, everybody supporting Skywalker, get over there and join that. It's going to be DC4L download. It's going down next month. It's going to be fire production. It's going to be fire what we be going to be spitting. We're going to be talking about a lot of good Cowboy stuff. And you know how we do over here. We ain't playing around. So get over there, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and let's make this happen. And once again, join the Patreon, okay? And go over there and super chat with Will too. Go donate,
I haven't
y'all.
went live yet, but I'm going live soon, so I appreciate you guys coming in if you can.
You feel me? And like I said, we got the Patreon up over the Silver and Blue Nation. I'm gonna upgrade a few things. I'm gonna be posting on the page. Like I said, y'all, I can't do this without y'all. I'm gonna say it one more time. All these trips, and Boothang can tell you, she'll be quick to tell you because she all about the damn money. Okay, and not in a bad way, Boothang. I'm not yelling. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me, please. Feel me? She about to throw the shoe at my head. I didn't mean it like that. Okay, she just on the money. And if we go past budgets, guess what? I'm gonna hear. Y'all don't gonna hear it. I'm gonna hear it. So,
hey, Boothang probably said this
so
in
we
her
can
head.
have that
Boothang
fire
said,
coverage.
Get your damn act together. Get your damn act together. I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
Get him, Boothang. See, look, we having fun at 1 o'clock in the morning, man. Where else you gonna have fun like that with a Cowboys show at 1 in the morning?
Hey, if that's not a classic quote from Jerry Jones, I don't know what the hell is. Get your damn act together.
Oh, we was crying about that for like 30 minutes before the show, man.
Dog.
Oh, man.
That nigga said, get your damn act together. Okay. Well, there it is. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Go to bed, get your bed up in the morning, and get on the tube tomorrow at 1 o'clock or Facebook.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you. Bye. Love you.